What's going on, YouTube? It's Dagon. Today we're going to look at Dagon, the demo. It's a H.P. Lovecraft style game based off one of his old short stories. So yeah, this should be creepy and entertaining. Let's get into it. See if it's something worth playing when it actually comes out. This game's going to be free. This demo's about 10 minutes. Let's see if we can get some immersion into the game. Here we go.
I am writing this under an appreciable mental strain, since by tonight I shall be no more.
Okay. Apparently it's my last night.
Penniless, and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable, I can bear the torture no longer, and shall cast myself from this garret window into the squalid street below.
That sounds miserable. I think he's addicted to heroin or something.
Do not think from my slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate. When you have read these hastily scrawled pages, you may guess, though never fully realize, why it is that I must have forgetfulness or death. It was in one of the most open and least frequented parts of the broad Pacific that the packet of which I was supercargo fell a victim to the German sea raider. The Great War was then at its very beginning, and the ocean forces of the Hun had not completely sunk to their later degradation.
The graphics are just awesome in this game.
So that our vessel was made a legitimate prize, whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness and consideration due us as naval prisoners. So liberal, indeed, was the discipline of our captors, that 5 days after we were taken, I managed to escape alone in a small boat with water and provisions for a good length of time. When I finally found myself adrift and free, I had but little idea of my surroundings.
Look at them. That's awesome. Let's just take this in for a second. Going.
Never a competent navigator, I could only guess vaguely by the sun and stars that I was somewhat south of the equator. Of the longitude, I knew nothing, and no island or coastline was in sight.
It's not good. The full version will feature many interesting facts about, among others, the story on which the game is based, the historical setting, and the author, H.P. Lovecraft. They are scattered around the locations, so make sure to look around and try to find them all. The demo features only a couple of facts. You've just found the first one. Dagon was written in July 1917, first published in 1919. Vagrant, an amateur magazine focused on the supernatural. The story was particularly inspired by Lovecraft's dream and is the first of his stories that introduced the element of the Cthulhu Mythos. Dagon itself, a pagan cult worshipping Dagon, later appears in the shadow over Innsmouth, one of Lovecraft's most popular stories. Something creepy's gonna pop out of the water. I know that. That's gonna happen. Oh, I'm supposed to click on the boom.
The weather kept fair, and for uncounted days I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land. But neither ship nor land appeared, and I began to despair in my solitude upon the heaving vastness of unbroken blue.
Yeah, that's how you go insane.
The change happened whilst I slept. Its details I shall never know. For my slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was continuous.
Okay. Super squiddy thing.
When at last I awoke, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in monotonous undulations as far as I could see.
Dude, take this in. What is that slimy thing right there? Dude.
And in which my boat lay grounded some distance away. Though one might well imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and unexpected a transformation of scenery, I was in reality more horrified than astonished.
Yeah, I could see that.
For there was in the air and in the rotting soil a sinister quality which chilled me to the very core. The region was putrid with the carcasses of decaying fish and of other, less describable things which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain.
Like that thing. We don't know what that thing is. That thing's... That thing over there looks pretty weird. And that thing over there looks pretty weird.
Perhaps I should not hope to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence and barren immensity.
Yeah, where's the ocean?
There was nothing within hearing, and nothing in sight, save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the stillness and the homogeneity of the landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear.
That's some heavy language.
The sun was blazing down from a sky which seemed to me almost black in its cloudless cruelty, as though reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
The inspiration behind Dagon. Dagon seems to be inspired by Fishhead, a short novel by Irvin Cobb, S. Cobb, about unnatural affinities between a hybrid idiot and the strange fish of an isolated lake. Supernatural horror in literature. H.P. Lovecraft. Lovecraft's interest in the topic stemmed from his aversion to fish and sea smells. In his own words. Yeah, who likes sea smell? I have hated fish and feared the sea and everything connected with it since I was 2 years old, but I cannot recall what earlier experience gave me such a profound and lasting aversion to the sea and seafood. The Dweller in Darkness, Lovecraft, 1927. Donald Wandery. Yeah, that's crazy. He wrote all these books just because he didn't like the sea and the smell of the ocean and sea life. Ew, squishy noises.
As I crawled into the stranded boat, I realized that only one theory could explain my position. Through some unprecedented volcanic upheaval, a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths.
Okay.
So great was the extent of the new land which had risen beneath me that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean, straining my ears as I might.
Yeah, I had the same question. I don't hear the
Nor
ocean
were there
either.
any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
What was that? The mystery of volcanic islands. Volcanic eruptions sometimes result in the creations of islands. Most of them are transient and erode after some time, but some provide permanent. Some prove permanent. The floating plume, porous rock created when superheated pressurized rock is ejected from the volcano, can move across long distances and transport barnacles and macroalgae that cling to it. In 2001, rafts of plume created during the eruption of a volcano near Tonga, Polynesia, eventually reached Australia. Okay, these are like super facts.
For several hours I sat thinking or brooding in the boat, which lay upon its side and afforded a slight shade as the sun moved across the heavens. As the day progressed, the ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for traveling purposes in a short time.
That'd be good, because this thing's pretty nasty. I bet it smells lovely, too.
That night I slept but little, and the next day I made for myself a pack containing food and water, preparatory to an overland journey in search of the vanished sea and possible rescue.
There's the super cool moon.
On the third morning, I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with ease. The odor of the fish was maddening, but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set out boldly for an unknown goal.
Okay. How's the morphine addiction going for you without your venison? Ew. Okay. That was the Dagon demo. What do you think? Curious to hear your guys' thoughts on it. So I've come up with a quick little demo rating system as I go forward demoing these games. So I got 5 categories I think I want to classify these games as how we're going to rate them. So story for this one, obviously it's going to be pretty high up there. Let's give it a 9. Gameplay, it was tough to tell. I mean, I was just clicking through. I wasn't really playing any sort of game. I was just clicking through kind of the immersive experience of kind of how the game was going to start. So won't really give it a grade on that one. Graphics, gosh guys, that looked pretty awesome to me. Let's at least go with a 9 on that. The immersion, I think you're going to be completely absorbed in this game. I would call that at least a 9 as well. And then for the ambience of the game, yeah, right up there. I'd say a 9. So 9s across the board. I would say that this is definitely, especially for a free game, this is a must-play game when it comes out. Please like and subscribe, and let me know what your guys' thoughts are when this game comes out. I'll leave a link in the description below, so you guys, if you want to try out the immersion of this demo, you guys can try it out. It's on Steam. So, yeah, let me know. Take care, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks. See ya. Bye.